Hey there, welcome to Motiva Podcast. I'm Victoria. Your growth and well-being is my goal. Welcome to my world where I share all-round information that will help spur growth in your life and business. Do ensure not to miss out on any of our episodes and don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, including YouTube at NDMP TV. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's ride. Do you remember this epic, interesting movie, Judge of the Jungle? When I was younger, that was my favorite movie. I loved it. It was very entertaining and interesting, but there's something about the story I just want to share. You remember Judge grew up among the animals, the chimpanzees, the monkeys and the likes, and having lived his childhood to adulthood in the jungle, he grew to behave like the animals. He can mimic any of the animal sounds. He could do many things that animals do, but Judge wasn't an animal, but I guess he didn't know that. He felt he was part of this community. He was a part of this community and he saw himself as one of them, even though he looked different, it was strange. But until the lady and the rest came into the picture, and Judge was taken to the town where humans live, and Judge just couldn't adapt to living in the human community and he had to run back to the jungle. He missed the life out there, he missed everything out there. And why am I saying this story? Interestingly, some of us are like Judge. We've been in places where we aren't supposed to be, more like places where it's not our original state of being, but because of lack of knowledge, one of two things missing, we've grown compatible with a certain kind of life, a certain kind of living that is not commensurate with our original makeup. So today I'll be sharing with you the power of discovering your purpose, how to discover your purpose, how to live your purpose. So glad to have you join me for this special episode. I'm Victoria and I'm all about helping you grow and be better. So with no further ado, let's get on to the discussion of today. So a lot of confusion has trailed the topic of purpose. People are confused. They don't know what it is. People don't know how to find their purpose. People don't know if it's important to do so. But just like me, I was once in that shoe. Everybody talked about purpose when I was very young. As a teenager, a lot of people talk about discovering your purpose, discover this, discover that is very important. That's the way to live. A life without purpose is a life that is not well lived because you just existed, you didn't actually live. And they are right, but I never ever got to know how to. It was so confusing and overwhelming. I really wanted to know my purpose, but I just wasn't so sure how to. I didn't really get that guidance that would have helped me. And I know a lot of people like that. A lot of people have had this whole purpose topic complicated and they're confused. They've had it all twisted and they just decide to abandon it. Okay, fine. I don't know what my purpose is. I can't find it and I'm just going to live the way I feel is right for me to live. Now, purpose is very important because there is nothing created on earth that was not created without a why. Okay, even inventors, whatever you buy in the market has a why it was created. Okay, the phone you buy, manufacturers of smartphones know the purpose why it was created to meet certain solutions in people's lives. So smartphones have a purpose why they were created and they fulfill their purpose when we are using them for the purpose and the function for which they were created to be used. So there's nothing that does not have a purpose, a why for existing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, even a house has a function for existing. The purpose of a house is shelter. So if little things have purpose, if inanimate objects have purpose, why won't a human being have a purpose? A human being does have a purpose and it's our duty to actually discover what it is that we were created for. Now, I will help break down how you can know that and how your purpose is a little bit different from career or your job. Okay, there's also a misconception misconception around that area, the link between purpose and career, purpose and job. So what is purpose? Purpose is that problem you were created to be a solution to. Purpose is what you were created for, what you were created to be, the value you were created to add to your world, the beauty that God wants you to add to your world. A lot of times people feel that emptiness inside of them. They may have a good job, they may be getting a good pay, but somewhere down inside of them, they're just not satisfied. There's no self-gratification, there's no fulfillment. Now, when that is happening to you, you should know you have not found your purpose. You are not living your purpose, and that's why that is happening. Because if you found a reason, a strong reason for living, and you commit yourself to that course, there is no way you're not going to be finding fulfillment in every step of the way. Okay, that's the essence of discovering your purpose. Because a life lived without discovering a purpose is a life that just existed without making any impact. So it's not just about working for money, working for power and position. It's about just finding that one thing that you know you were wired for, you were really made to provide a solution to this certain area in the world. And by doing so, you actually get that satisfaction inside of you. You're happy doing it. You're joyful. You know, happiness is actually limited, it's conditional. But when you're fulfilling purpose, when you're doing what you're meant to do, you actually have joy, you know, and that's something that comes within that is not conditional. All right. So purpose is that thing you were created for. Now, the people of the world measure success by your net worth and your possession. But for those who have understanding of the relevance of purpose, your success is measured by how much of your purpose you've found, you've known, and how much of it you've lived and fulfilled. Okay, that's how God looks at it. It's not the way society looks at success. Having said that, for those who are Christians, it is important for you to know that you are not just born to go to church, get born again and die and go to heaven. There's more to it than just doing that. And you also need to know that your purpose is not limited to the fivefold ministry. What are the fivefold ministry? The prophets, apostles, pastors, teachers, evangelists. You should know that God can give you the gift of prophecy, but your purpose is actually in the business world, to be a business owner, to be a business mogul, you know, and you can actually double as that. So spiritual gifts are separate from what your purpose really is. So you can be a pastor, but your purpose is not to be a pastor over a church. You probably have something else that God wired you to be. Okay, so it's not limited. Purpose is not limited to just the spiritual gifts, the fivefold ministries. All right. So how do you discover your purpose? To share a personal experience, you know, I was told that you cannot know your purpose outside your manufacturer. It's like saying, if I buy a television, the manufacturer puts a manual alongside the television that tells me what the function is, how to set it up and how it functions, right? It's more like saying the manufacturer is the only one who knows the function, the problem, and everything about the television set, okay? And for me as a user, I just have to consult the manual to get an understanding of how to use it. In discovering your purpose, the first thing you're going to hear is ask your creator. The creator knows you better than anyone, and it's the truth. But the problem is, when I was told that, I was much younger. I was a teenager then. So when I was told, pray, ask God, he will show you, I was praying and I just didn't know how to go about it. I don't know when God has answered me. I don't know when God has spoken to me. I don't know anything. I was just confused. So I prayed for a while and then I stopped. Okay, now let me share with you how I broke through at the end of the day. This is what happened. After so much trial and error and box shadowing and all of that, and I didn't get any results, I stumbled upon Joyce Meyer's book, How to Know God Intimately. And after reading that book, my life was transformed. I got a clearer idea of who God is, how to hear God, how to know when God is speaking to you, how to relate with God. And the basic things I need. It was such a practical book. It was so clear and very helpful. And that was how my journey of discovering my purpose began. So I'm telling you, it's not just to pray. If you don't know how to hear God, if you don't know when God is talking to you, if you don't know His voice, if you cannot differentiate your thoughts from His voice, from His impressions and speakings, the first thing you need to do in discovering your purpose is just to find out how to hear God. Go and get books. There are a lot of materials on how to hear God, how to know that God is the one leading you in this direction, how to hear Him, how to understand Him, to differentiate His voice, and just go and master that art. That's the first thing, the first step for anybody. Know when God is the one telling you something. Because if you don't know God's voice, you will hear different things and you wouldn't even know it's God that told you. You will pray and probably you can get an answer and don't even know it's the answer that you've been looking for. Because God answers people in different ways. It may not be through an oral, it may not be through a vocal pronunciation. It may be through a word in the Bible. It may be through a book that you are reading. It may answer you through so many things. Maybe through someone speaking. You went to a seminar, somebody speaking, and you just get that light immediately that this is for you. So if you have not found, if you've not studied, if you've not found how God speaks to you, how and the diverse ways God speaks to people, how to confirm that He is the one that spoke these things, you will continue to try so many things and fail. Okay, so the first thing I would advise, get books, get materials on how to hear God and all of that. There are so many materials like that by Joyce Meyer. Just get them, read them, then engage in prayer, then go to a quiet place where you can think. Go to a quiet place where you can think, you can reflect, you can ask yourself, what am I good at? What are my pain points? What do I see that triggers emotion in me? What are those situations that actually bothers me a lot when I see it? Do I feel so bad, so angry when I see children maltreated? Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself what you love, what you can do effortlessly. Those things you are so passionate about that no matter what, you can't stop doing them. Some people love music so much. No matter what, they love it so much they can't do without it. No matter what you're doing, music is all over the place. Music everywhere. A lot of us like music, but I'm talking about people who are really so very passionate about it. If you met people like that, those guys have a thing for music. So you need to, apart from after you've prayed and you're still waiting and you're still studying for answers, just be asking yourself, as you're asking yourself questions like this, be writing down your answers, reflect, ask people what they think. People that have observed you and known you for long, what they think you are very good at. Get opinions from elders like that. Just ask them, what do you think I'm good at? You've observed me, you've known me for a long time. What do you think I'm very good at? What do you think I do effortlessly? Add it to what you have reflected upon and match the answers together. Sit down and reflect on it. What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are your passion? Write them down. What do you spend your time on most of the time? What do you spend a lot of time thinking about? What are you willing to spend a lot of money learning? What do you often talk about most? So those things that you love the most, just figure them out. Think about it in your quiet place. Write them down. They are all a clue to what your purpose is. Because one thing people think is that people think God is going to give them a purpose that is far from what they like doing. No, if you're very passionate about music, it's a clue that you are called. You may not be a singer. Not everybody that's called into the music ministry is a singer. Some of them are instrumentalists, they are sound engineers. Some just have passion for organizing concerts, bringing people. So just find your own place. And if you have a fantastic voice, you're passionate about music a lot, and you know that you talk about it, you're willing to spend money on it, you're willing to do anything on it, you at your free time, you're thinking about it and everything, just know you are not far from your purpose. Alright? So ask these questions, write your answers, then continue to pray. And when you feel peace, when you feel assurance right there in your heart that this is it, you definitely get a confirmation of this is what you are meant to do. Find the solution that you are meant to be. Find a problem that you know you're a solution to. You were wired to solve this problem in the world. And from there onward, your work in this life is going to be more meaningful, more impactful, more intentional, and fulfilling. So once you're clear about what your talents are, what your passion are, the next question is, how do you use this to serve your community? How do you use this to serve the world at large in a way that that will bring satisfaction to you and bring glory to God? That's the next question. Now, the how may not come immediately. Remember, purpose is a lifetime journey. It's a lifetime journey. It keeps unfolding day by day. So you may not immediately get how, but you keep digging, you keep finding, you keep thinking, you keep reflecting and keep praying, and then you will get piece by piece what you ought to do, when you ought to do them, and how to do them actually. Always remember to listen to your inner voice. Just always take out time to stay in a quiet place, to think, to reflect, to pray, to inquire, to ask questions, and listen to your inner voice. Listen to what it has to say to you at that moment. It's very important. That will help you to know how to set your goals, to be more intentional about your day, and be more productive about your life. The next question in discovering your purpose is, what is that thing that you can do without the motivation of money? Money is very important, and whatever we do, we always want it to be profitable monetarily. But what is that passion? What is that thing that you're so passionate about that you can do without money being the label, being the main tag on it? It's like, what is that service you can render to people without money being your motivation? That's the question. Do you like to inspire people? Are you willing to inspire people like me without even money being your motivation? You ask yourself that. It's a clue to discovering what your purpose is. What are your core values? What are the core qualities in your life that you actually hold in high value, in high esteem? And how do you express those values? Do you value love? How do you express love? You need to sit down and ask those questions. Give yourself an answer. Ask, how do you express that quality in a way that is helpful to others, in a way that is impactful on others? Once this is clear, you can move ahead to Once everything is clear, you can move ahead to write your purpose statement, write what it's about. So these are the ways you can discover your purpose. These are the questions that you can answer and help you discover what your purpose is. So I mentioned earlier about people confusing their career with purpose, or how does career relate to purpose. Now, you shouldn't forget that I also said that you can have a job and your purpose is not actually in that job. That is, you can be a teacher, you can have the ability to teach, you're a teacher, but your purpose is not right there. You have something else that you were wired for. Probably you're given an ability to be a business person, ability to make money, or you have the unusual ability to teach people, to inspire people to be better. You love helping people, or yours may probably be to help the less privileged in the society. There are people who are actually anointed to help. Okay, there are people who have that as their purpose, the ministry of help. They like to help people. It's not just casual people trying to be philanthropists. Everybody wants to be philanthropists, but there's people who are specifically ordained for that purpose. So career is your occupation. Career is what you do to improve your livelihood, to have a source of income for livelihood, for a good standard of living. It has to do with your profession. If you've noticed, you've seen where people went to study law. We have law graduates, we have doctors who are into music. That's very commonplace in Nigeria here. We have a lot of lawyers and doctors who are singers, they're musicians right now. So that's what we are saying. That you studied law does not mean it's not everybody whose career is actually their place of purpose. Okay, some of them went to study law, but they fulfilled their purpose by being musicians. They may still practice law and still be musicians. Being a musician gives them the highest gratification than practicing law. That's the line between purpose and career. Okay, some may be doing great in their places of job, in their places of employment. That's fine, but there's still something else you probably are wired to be that may be different from your profession. So you need to sit down and think about it. How is my job related to my purpose? Some people quit their jobs because they discovered purpose. Hey, if it's not necessary, do not go quit your job, okay? If it's not necessary, if your purpose does not demand your entire time and everything, and it's something you can actually be fulfilling while still on the job, then you don't need to quit your job, okay? So that's that for career and purpose. So I hope this has been very helpful and insightful for you. I want to believe that this is going to help someone out there about what purpose is and what is the relevance of purpose and how it relates to you and how you can discover yours and live a more intentional life. I trust this would greatly help you, and if it does, kindly send me a voice message via the voice message link, or you can just follow the episode on our YouTube channel at NDMP TV and let me hear your feedback, or you can send me a message on my email victoriamajor@gmail.com. Let me hear from you. Let me know what's going on, and if you have further questions and inquiries and you need to know more about how you can actually go about discovering your purpose and what it means, okay, you can talk to me, you can reach out to me. For you to be able to send us a message, please do ensure that you have the Anchor FM app, or wherever you're listening from, on Spotify or any of the other platforms that we're on. Do ensure to try to get to us, reach us via a message. Remember, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. That's by Viktor Franklin. So ensure that you have a meaningful and purposeful life. Ensure that you discover your purpose. So this is it from here in this episode. Join us in our next episode, and if you missed the previous episode, please do check our YouTube channel. Get up to date on other episodes, very interesting topics. It's Victoria. See you in our next episode.